Hello, my name is Marla Martinez Parker. Today I'm going to be teaching you Tipp, a distress tolerance skill used in dialectical behavior therapy. So, you ever feel like you're at an emotional breaking point? Don't know what to do? Have no fear? Tipp is here. What is Tipp, you ask? The distress tolerance skill used in dialectical behavior therapy and is most effective during a crisis when stuck in emotion mind or feeling pressured or overwhelmed. Each skill and tip has the effect to tip your biology and change your body chemistry, causing a reduction in your emotional arousal. You may be asking yourself, well, how do I know if I'm in a crisis? Or why tip? Good questions. A crisis can be anything that brings you to an emotional breaking point or makes you feel as though you're at your emotional limit or ledge. Have you ever heard of fight or flight? Fight or flight is a process in which our bodies react to certain stimuli. For example, when we're scared or find ourselves in dangerous situations, we may notice bodily sensations that pose as cues to either fight or flight. These sensations are cues that we may need to use a distress tolerance skill. Other types of crisis can range from loss of partner, job, or animal to smaller things such as not having anything to wear to a job interview or being stuck in traffic on your way to work. Other scenarios are to include when you have the urge to engage in destructive behavior and find it really difficult to not satisfy that urge. So, why tip? The skills in tip are very quick and can work within a matter of minutes or even seconds. They're effective at reducing painful emotions and without the short term and long term negative results. Tip is easy and doesn't require a lot of thinking. Many of the skills are discrete and can be used in almost any setting. By now, I'm sure you're screaming, "Tell me more!" And that I will. Tip is a skill that is intended to, metaphorically, bring you down from that ledge or breaking point. It stands for temperature, intense exercise, paced breathing, and paired muscle relaxation. So, how do you use this skill? I will teach you. The first is temperature. When you begin feeling the physiological signs of being upset, such as increased heart rate or feeling hot, 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 and no, I don't mean attractive hot, I mean temperature hot. It's a sign to cool down, emotionally and physically. The purpose of this skill is to set off the parasympathetic system and reduce physiological and emotional arousal. Quick. This is called the mammalian dive reflex. This dive reflex occurs in humans and other mammals and informs the heart to slow down, causing it to go below resting heart rate whenever the person is immersed in very cold water without oxygen. This effect is due to an increased activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, in which the body's physiological system for decreasing arousal. States of emotional arousal occur when the sympathetic nervous system becomes overactive and the parasympathetic nervous system is underactive. You can do any of the following activities to try and dive reflex. You can use temperature when you're experiencing difficulty sleeping and are experiencing high anxiety, or if you've experienced any level of disassociation in therapy and skills training. However, there are many situations in which this skill is useful in addition to the ones listed. Caution. Using cold water to induce the dive reflex can reduce heart rate very rapidly. Individuals with any heart disorder or heart rate below their normal baseline due to medications, other medical problems, anorexia nervosa, or bulimia nervosa should use this procedure with the permission of their medical providers. In general, it is recommended participants check with their medical providers before using the procedure. Adolescents should seek parental permission as well. The physical effects of the cold water are actually very short lived, thus, it is easy for the out of control emotions to return if participants are not careful. Once extreme arousal is reduced, it can be important to practice a different set of skills appropriate for the problems at hand. Moving forward. I is for intense exercise. I know. Who has time for exercise? You can do anything, preferably do an activity until, well, you feel exhausted or you've gotten your heart rate to 70% of the maximum of your age. Increasing the oxygen flow through your body and brain allows your stress levels to come down, increasing positive emotions. Consider the following recommendations when trying to decide what to do: running down a hallway, at work, at school, or at a store, briskly walking around the block or down the street, jumping jacks, jump rope, jogging in place, or squats and lunges. You can use this exercise whenever you're feeling agitated, angry, or have uncontrollable continuous thoughts, or times when you feel as though you need to change your mood. However, it is important to know that all of the skills in TIP can address agitation, anger, and rumination. Moving forward. The first P in TIP is paced breathing. When you Breathing can have a profound impact on your body's fight or flight response, decreasing it exponentially. It has a similar effect in changes within the sympathetic and parasympathetic system as the dive reflex. During this skill, you will focus on breathing patterns, inhaling and exhaling to an average of 4 to 6 breath cycles per minute. Breathing deeply from the abdomen, breathing should be slower. Breathing out should be slower than breathing in. Try looking at a clock with a second hand or using a timer. Let's try this activity together and inhale for 5 seconds. Now exhale for 7. Let's try this again. Breathing in for 5 seconds and exhaling for 7. During this activity, you can choose to pause at the top or the bottom of your inhale or exhale. The final letter P in TIPS stands for paired muscle relaxation. Pairing muscle relaxations with exhaling. During this activity, you will focus on tightening or tensing a muscle, focusing on the sensations while breathing in, then relaxing that muscle again, noticing the sensations while breathing out, pairing them together. Repeating this technique allows your muscle to enter a state of relaxation, which in turn slows your breathing and heart rate down. You can do this activity with any muscle in your body, for example, your butt. Tighten your butt muscle for 5 seconds while breathing in, then slowly releasing the tension, allowing your muscle to relax while exhaling. You may notice you begin to relax. Doing this with each muscle group Try doing this with each muscle group for 5 to 10 seconds and let go for 5 to 10 seconds. And that completes this lesson on Tipp. It's important to know that Tipp is an effective coping strategy when feeling overwhelmed. You can use this skill when you have reached a breaking point or even when you feel yourself getting to that point. Thank you for listening, and now it is time for me to stick my head in a bowl of water and practice my mammalian dive reflex. Have a good day.